Canada's unemployment rate is now sitting at 7%, its highest since the COVID era. And we've seen some interesting facts here. So full-time positions have actually decreased. So meaning that there are full-time positions that are being filled. So it's good. But then there's been a significant increase in losses in part-time positions. So part-time positions definitely lost a lot of points over here, which is driving that unemployment rate. However, there's an interesting number I want to share with you, and that's 21.8. What 21.8 is 21.8 weeks it takes now for someone on average to find a job. That is a significantly high number. To say it in a different way, 21.8 weeks is equivalent to 5.5 months to find a job. Now, that is an average. That means there are extremes on both ends. I'd be very curious to see what's driving up that number, because there's going to be a huge pool of the data, maybe about 20 to 30%. That's definitely above the 21-day average. And it could be as high as 30, 40, 50, 60 weeks. There's 52 weeks in the year. So I even get personally from running a recruitment company, I have people that messaged me last year saying I still haven't found a job. And unemployment here in Canada, the government pays, I believe it's 6 months of a percentage of your wage. So very interesting to see that there is a very, very high number of people that they're running out of unemployment money and government money. And you're sitting, at that 5.5 month mark to find a job. That is very, very, very detrimental. I can't see how that will actually do them any favors when finding a job. As an employer myself, seeing someone who hasn't been working for 6 months, it usually poses a red flag, which could be a concern for the economy. It's a whole snowball effect that could keep going over and over and over again. 7% is up there and the number is climbing, and there's been a big driving factor. So some latest news, DHL, they went on a strike. So that's increased the number. And at the same time too, we also see that Microsoft, an American company, Microsoft, cut 300 jobs last month alone. And it's not looking too exciting, because an American company pulling out and going to more on the American side with everything going on. Lots of work for Canada to be doing. Overall, I would rate the economy from a job market perspective as a 3 out of 10. You're looking at, yes, there's an increase in, full-time jobs, and companies are investing in full-time people. However, the economy is run on so many small businesses have a lot of part-time people. I know many, many people that have several jobs, but I'm not confident, because sitting at 7%, very, very, very high, doesn't excite me. I just don't see it's not going in the right direction. And I'm not sure what the solution is. Canada needs to do its part to attract business to the country. Very, very, very important. It needs to do its part to attract business to the country. We need to figure out how we could be a massive partner with the United States, because a very, very important fact and a very important note is that 75% of Canada's economy is actually being purchased by the United States. The United States is a massive, massive, massive customer. You lose the United States, that's 75% of business gone. When a company doesn't have customers, it doesn't have income. And when it doesn't have income, it no longer can afford its employees. It can't afford its rent or lease or payments. It becomes a huge, huge, huge problem. So Canada needs to do some work to figure out what the solution is over here. I'm waiting to see it. So, if I could shout out from a political level, I could shout out and ask, what is going on? What's the plan to resolve this? Because Canadians are not in a comfortable state right now, and something needs to be done. Something can be done. And I don't think it's a difficult problem to fix. I think this could be fixed overnight. I think it could be fixed relatively quickly. All it is good partnerships, good relationships, good business relationships that need to happen on a political level, on a economy level. So I'm rooting for the country, but we're not heading in the right direction. However, very fixable. That's the good news. That's why I'm rating it a 3 out of 10, not a 0 out of 10, because this is very fixable, and overnight it could jump to an 8 out of 10. With that said, thanks for following the content. If you enjoy more content like this, like and subscribe to the material.
Hey, thanks for watching our content. Listen, if you're running a business and you're struggling to find staff, I want to introduce myself. My name is Christian Saab. I own CPG Recruitment, and I help companies across North America find the people that they need to find. Listen, a great business cannot be built unless you've got great people. You and I both understand that having the right people on your team is so important, and that's where I could come in and help you. So listen, I want you to shoot me a text message. Here's my direct cell phone. Have my number. Reach out to me. I'd love to hear your story and get to know what you're trying to accomplish, and that way maybe I can help you fix this problem.